if it's going to be like the weather that we had just the other day, but, when they had that situation that everybody's calling a tornado. But we're going to have some foul weather again this afternoon. Well, good afternoon, all. We welcome you here to our show on Hard Copy. We're getting set now for our beginning today, and I just want to let you know that today we are talking about some very, very important things. First, we're going to be talking about this whole thing about the Parliamentary Registration Department. They don't seem to know exactly what they're doing these days, and they got people mixed up. We're also going to talk today about some other things that's been happening in the country. You know what is happening. The illegals are here in the Bahamas, and they are having children. Whether you like it or not, that's what they're having. Children. Many children. These children are now enrolling in our schools across the country, and they can't speak any English, which means that many of them just reach. They're only familiar with what the language they know, which is Creole. And many of these children who were coming here for the last few years in our country simply cannot speak English. The teachers are now affected by what's been happening because the truth is they can't teach these kids anything. They don't know the English language. And that is what the curriculum is all about these days. And that presents a big, big problem for the Bahamas. In particular, it presents a very, very big problem for Philip Brave Davis, who has been the architect of people coming here to the Bahamas who can't speak English, but they're getting citizenship. They're bringing their whole drayload of family with them. They can't speak no English, and so we are mixed up. That is the bottom line. I have to give it to you straight. That's what's actually happening. And the teachers themselves don't know what to make of it. They're complaining, and they're complaining because they cannot get anything through to the children. Now, this is something that's actually happening right now as we speak. In fact, this was on the news for many, many nights now because they're all concerned. So that's another big problem we have. We got people who can't speak English. These are children, high school children. These are primary school children. They don't know the language. They can't speak it on English. This is the dilemma that we've gotten ourselves in this Bahamas because of one problem. We got an immigration problem that we refuse to call a crisis, that the leaders of our country refuse to acknowledge that it is a crisis, and they continue to bring more and more and more and more people. In fact, the national airline Bahamas Air is loading up in Haiti to come to the Bahamas with all kinds of people on the plane. They could care less if these people can speak English or not. All they know, they got the passage for them to come in the Bahamas, and they've been authorized. I don't know who authorized them, but they've been authorized. And as a result of it, they have clear voyage. Now, I say those things to show you the dilemma that we are actually in. This is no fluke. This is real. We cannot have that in our country. Yet, the Prime Minister, Philip Brave Davis, continues to push on. You, the Bahamian people, have got to say enough is enough and mean that enough is enough because now the children are being affected. Now, that means that all of the children are being affected. The Bahamians, the Haitians, everybody else, because they can't speak English, which means that this thing is a slow process and they will not get anything done. So it's no wonder why people like Glennis Hannah Martin, who means well, I believe she means well, she has her hands full because she ain't got no English teachers. I wonder if that was something to say that she meant to do that yesterday, because that was the big story yesterday. They ain't got no English teachers. Now today, they ain't even got no English teachers. They got Haitian people in our schools at the primary level, the secondary level, and so forth and so on. And here it is, they can't speak no English. So we got a problem. What are we going to do about this problem? You see, these things happen to be an urgent, urgent, urgent thing. We cannot ignore this, you know. The people of the Bahamas cannot ignore this. We had been complaining about this for quite some time. Everybody was talking on the social media sites and the rest of it saying that I meet these people today, they can't speak an ounce of English. We did not know how serious that really was because now they can't speak no English and their children can't speak no English, but they're in our schools. And they've gone to our schools enrolling in this situation where because they can't speak no English, we set back. What are we doing? What is Brave Davis doing? I would like to know because that cannot make much sense to me. It doesn't. How can you go and bring people into a country who can't speak English and you can talk, but they can learn English? Listen here. We have a country to run, and we better get on the business of running this country. We cannot play this game because one man has a viewpoint that he wants to help all people. Yes, we can help some people, and we have. But don't get this thing twisted, Mr. Davis. Don't get it twisted. You are out of order and you cannot do what you're doing. I make myself very clear, you know. You know that you're out of order. All of you all are out of order because you're to have these kinds of people here slowing down the system, slowing down progress in our country where Bahamians belong. This is our country. And you all better get it right. There's more to this than just voting you out of office, you know. There's other things that we can do after you get out of office. You've wrecked this country. And this is good grounds to stand on now. You have wrecked this country. And I'm saying to you, those of you who don't understand that, you can't speak English yourself. Because I'm very, very clear what I'm saying. You cannot speak English, you will slow down this country. So when you talk about the fact that our people can't get no job, the Haitian people are getting all the jobs. They ain't gonna never get no job because really they ain't qualified. The process is being slowed down, and this takes over a situation where it's going to be for years. I'm not just talking about today. This will happen for years in our country. We have Haitianized the Bahamas, and we ain't doing nothing about it. It's going to take more than just Lincoln Bain and other fair-minded people to address this matter. It's going to take you and me and others to bring Mr. Davis to his senses because he cannot be making any sense at this time. I don't see him making any sense at this time. The thing is out of hand. It's out of hand. And now everyone is complaining. Those people who are complaining are also PLPs and FNMs. They're complaining. They're also COIs and everybody else. They're complaining because they know what is going to happen to this country. How come the Prime Minister can't see what's going to happen to this country? Or is it that he just wants this country to be what he wants it to be? But this country, it belongs to the Bahamas. We own this country. And I'm saying to you, my friends, the time has come for us to take the country back. I'm going to tell you, the time has come for us to take our country back. When you get things like this happening in your country, the people can't speak no English. The teachers having difficulty with it. They said only about 3 people out of a class of 25, 26, 30 people can speak halfway kind of English, but they can't even. These are young kids, you know. It's a mess. I wonder how many people around the world are listening to this right now, because I'm sure they're listening to this. We've got to be the biggest fools in the Bahamas. Our prime minister is the chief fool. He has to be. How can you bring in people who don't speak your language and you bringing them in by the hundreds? If you want to assimilate them into this society, I can understand that. But you are doing this with a big rush. Boom! You're rushing this thing. And here it is. We got a problem. Now, some of you have been sleeping. Your whole thing is that, well, you ain't know, you ain't check. Listen there. The people of the Bahamas have no time for nobody who ain't checking. We mean business. This is our country. Keep that in your head. Because we can't lose a country because some fella believes that he should help some other people. It's wrong. Our God is not pleased with that. You're bringing another culture in our country, and everything has changed. All the cultural arts have changed. These guys are in charge of Junkanoo. You need to understand what is actually happening. We've lost the culture already. We've lost things because we are having people who are doing things a different way. It's not our way. But does Mr. Davis care about that? I've got to ask that question today. Does he care about it? I want him to call me and tell me that he cares about it. Because it's very vexing. And you all going to be there talking about you're going to put this government back in power. If you do that, you've got to be the foolish people I've ever seen in the history of the world. They're doing you wrong. They cannot get any marks from me. I'm telling you right now, they can't. You mess up a whole country, a sound country, left by our forefathers, left by our people, for us. And one man gonna mess it up. I'm talking to you PLPs, who have been going along with Mr. Davis. I'm talking with you FNMs, who've been going along with Mr. Davis, trying to make deals. Listen, man, you better save this country. Because I'm telling you, when you have a situation like this is explosive. And you ain't doing nothing about it. Come on now. We can't speak easy on this. There will be no easy talk on this. We cannot speak easy on this. That's one of the reasons why I told you yesterday in my summation all of the things that I've talked about yesterday on the show. I noticed today in the Guardian, they're on the money. They've written all kind of new stories in the Guardian today. It's a brand new day at the Nassau Guardian, the Tribune. You know why? Because pressure came down on them. They know that they were doing fool. They know it. You cannot leave things unattended. You got to pay attention to what is going on in this country so that we can be on the same page, singing the same tune with one Be Quiet. They had abandoned the ship and they've not been checking what they're supposed to be checking for. All kind of nonsense in the papers. I dealt with that yesterday. And when I dealt with that yesterday, I know, you ain't got to tell me, I know they heard me. I know all of them heard me. I saw Candia Deems on the front page with a exclusive story this morning. Where's that? She wrote a story this morning. This is not the paper. Oh, here it is. You know why? This is an analysis. See that? Analysis.
Yep.
You know why? Because they know, and she had to put pressure on Ray Davis. They know what is actually happening. The man is out of control. You all may not understand that. He is out of control. He's the prime minister, and we want to respect that, but he's out of control. He is so out of control, every damn thing is going haywire. This whole thing with the downtown straw vendors, they're going to stop working. The taxi cab union, they're ready to take the next step on this resolution with the government. They ain't, nothing's happening for them. Everything is wrong in this country because this man is concentrating on one thing, Fix the Haitian problem, not the Bahamian problem. Fix the Haitian problem. We got to fix the Haitian problem. How the devil can we be fixing somebody else's problem? That ain't our business. You got immigration all screwed up, messed up. We don't know what we're dealing with immigration. And the fellow who's in charge of immigration, he has got to be a clown. I'm telling you this. He has got to be a clown. The man in charge of immigration, who says he's the director of immigration, I got a sound bite that I can play for you today. He's got to be a clown. He ain't starting up the country. Well, what is he doing? This is serious talk. Serious talking now. We cannot play a game like this, what we're dealing with. We cannot. On top of that, Chester Cooper, who is the deputy prime minister, so-called deputy prime minister, you know what he's now saying? They ain't got no buyer to fix the airport. What kind of nonsense is this? You want to fix our Lukaya, but you ain't got no buyer to help you with the airport. The other fellows who they had first, they didn't pull out. That ain't happen no more. So Grand Bahama is still stuck. What are you people doing? That's the question that we've got to ask you pointedly. What are you doing? What are you doing? The people of Grand Bahama, what you all doing? You all gone celebrate all this thing about they can have this and they can have that. Nothing is happening. The people have not done anything for you all in Grand Bahama. We're playing a game. And they're going to get away with the game because you all ain't awake. That's what the problem is. So we got a bunch of things happening one time. The Haitians doing their own thing, coming into the Bahamas. Bahamas, they're doing their own thing. I mean, we're surrounded. We are surrounded by these nincompoops. My Lord, I just don't understand it. But anyway, these are the times that we're living in, and we're going to have to deal with this whole matter. You all better put on your thinking caps and let us deal with this matter ourselves, because the people who we pick to deal with this matter, they ain't home. They in hinterland. They ain't home. They ain't thinking with the right set of cards. They ain't at home. These guys are out to lunch. And I really mean that they're out to lunch. With all the abundance of problems that we now have in this country, they got to be out to lunch. Too many things are going bad. So close to the election. Then you got this whole thing with the biometric thing. What nonsense it is. These guys went and passed that biometric thing. They can't even explain it. My goodness, they can't explain it. They had a meeting and they couldn't explain it. They couldn't explain what the hell they're dealing with. They couldn't explain it. I am mad as hell. They couldn't explain it. Big town hall meeting at college at the University of the Bahamas, and these fellas, including Harrison Thompson, could not explain anything. Don't know what he is talking about. This is way over his head. I tell you so, and I know what I'm talking about. If you believe that I don't know what I'm talking about, tell Harrison Betty come on the show. Get him to be on the show. Get all of them to be on the show, so I can show you what I mean. Because these guys are joking. They're joking big time. You want to implement something you don't even know what it is. Not only that, you let Brave Davis and them pass this thing in the House of Assembly. The Senate was very, very quiet. Bums was the word in the Senate, in the lower house, the Parliament. And Michael and all them voted for the. They're taking a chance. Their whole thing is that, well, we can vote for this because we may get some people to vote for us. What irresponsibility. We got people that we ain't supposed to be here. And now you're talking about they might vote for us. What are we dealing with? Your prayers, sisters, your prayers, brethren, you have to pray big time, dead hard. Talk to God. Because these fellas there, They don't know what they're doing. And they can put all of us up the creek without a paddle. That's what's going to happen to us. Okay? Now, I want to turn my attention to some things because I don't want to lose it, because you know me, I can talk. Because I so upset with this whole thing. When I see this whole thing with these Haitian people who are here, and I don't mean no disrespect. I respect all people, but my point is this: we are doing it so wrong that you make me angry. I'm angry with this whole thing today. They can't speak no English. That's going to be generations down the road before we get somebody even understand what ABC is. The teachers have said they can't even say the ABC. They don't know what ABC is. They don't. You understand what I'm saying to you today? Lord have mercy. My brother, good afternoon, Lincoln Bain. How are you doing today?
Good afternoon, my brother. I am awesome. How are you doing?
I want to see you on TV. I have. Are you on my camera? Are you on my camera?
I think I am. I think I had to do this lower.
Yeah.
Move this out of the way.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
This is Lincoln Bain Friends. And a lot of people say this is the other man who's going to take over the helm. And it's becoming clearer and clearer to me every single day. Because what these fellas are doing, they can't be won't be in charge of no country. They can't won't be in charge of no country. But Lincoln Bain, I welcome you to the show. Thank you so much for being here. And forgive me for being angry, but sometimes when I look at this thing and I weigh this thing, it is very, very vexing.
I know it is. And everywhere you go around the Bahamas, you're hearing people are more and more angry, and they're trying to wake up the people who are asleep. But people are angry. They're seeing it, and it can't hide anymore. Louis Georges made a post on his Facebook after this government won, and he made a statement. He said to everyone to come out of the bushes. He said, "We're not in the bushes anymore." It's still on his Facebook page.
Yeah, man in charge.
He said, "No, we're not in the bushes anymore. Y'all come out." In other words, it's time to take over. Before that, he had made a statement that the Bahamas is a very underpopulated place. In other words, they're coming to populate it. And what Bahamians don't realize is that majority rules. And what we don't want, and many Haitians who live here, they feel the same way. We don't want this country, because of corruption, to be turned into the country they ran from. We don't want the Bahamas to turn into Haiti. We don't want our culture to turn into Haiti, Jamaica, China, or anyone. But these are the people who are coming here, replacing us, taking our names, and trying to become us, interfering with our elections. And we have to do something now before it's too late. This is the last election that we're going to be the majority. It only takes them 7 years to get their citizenship legally. All right? And so, according to the system they're using now, I'm not acknowledging that Nationality Act thing. But that means that those who came in under the Davis administration, by not this election, but next election, they become citizens. And if they become citizens, we outnumbered.
My Lord.
And the warning of Loftus Roker will become real. And so there will be nothing for us and our children. There will be nowhere to go because even Canada is closing its doors now. America has closed its doors. Where are we going to go? We're going to be the last class citizens in the Bahamas if we don't stand up and fight now. If we don't fight Philip Brave Davis, who is allowing this to happen because their administration is making money under the table from this. If we don't fight Michael Pintard, because this is also their agenda. And he said if they come to power, they will do the same thing. And we know that he is funded by Fred Smith. And so we know what Fred Smith's agenda is. And so we got to fight this. Steve, I remember I used to go to Miami one time ago. And when we went in the stores and went downtown, I went to McCoy's and eat breakfast and all that kind of stuff back in the day. McCoy's.
Yeah.
When we went there back in the day, there was white people and black Americans in those stores. Now, if you don't speak Spanish,
My Lord.
it's hard for you to live there. They've taken over not just Miami and South Florida, but the whole thing. The whole of Florida is in problems.
Yes.
And so that show you that a country with millions of people was taken over.
Just like that.
Just like that. Imagine a country with 200,000 adults. When I say a country with millions of people, I mean a state with
Yes.
millions of people was taken over. Imagine little us. All they got to do is decide to come, pay
That's it.
some money to the government, the politicians get rich,
Mhm.
and we get pushed to the side. There's another state in America called Utah. Utah is a state that was taken over by Mormons. Mormons, you know, is a religion,
Yes.
very conservative people. And the Mormons now control the entire state of Utah. They have a state to themselves. That's their state.
Hmm.
That's their whole state.
Exactly.
Because they decided to come and flood it and take it over. And so the governor, the mayors, or everyone with position, the Mormons, they took that one over. Eventually, they even ran for president. Mitt Romney, he was from Utah. He was a Mormon. He decided, listen, we took a state. Let's try to take the country. And he decided to run, and but he didn't win. He got beat.
Yes.
I think Barack Obama defeated him. But the same thing happened in Florida. Most of the people with the positions, you know, the governors, the mayors,
Exactly.
the senators, etc.
Exactly.
You see what they are. I'm saying this because I want a Bahamas for Bahamians. My grandmother and your grandmother, Steve, they fought for this, man. They worked, they slaved this land, they
Exactly.
toiled this land
Exactly.
for us, for their future generations. How
That's
could
us.
Pinlin and the founding fathers have sacrificed for this nation so that our children could have a home?
My Lord.
And you have another PLP has come in, he ain't want to use the yellow no more. They blue now. They done transformed the whole PLP. Pinlin's PLP is dead. And they brought a new PLP now that it's about the Haitians, not the Bahamians. The original PLP was about Bahamianization.
Exactly.
This PLP is about Haitianization.
My Lord.
I
Trouble.
said it.
Trouble.
Who don't like it,
Trouble. We in trouble.
vote for them.
We in trouble.
And you have an F&M, and you have a prime minister who went to the Haitian village and
Exactly.
committed what we feel is treason. He went there and told those people, I am you and you are me.
Mhm.
I'm of Haitian descent just like you. He said, I was always there for you and I can always be there for you.
We can be together right now, but
Yeah.
we can be
He
together
said,
soon.
mm-hmm.
My Lord. And that soon is actually happening right now.
And so he
This is
made
what
us
he's
know
talking about.
what his loyalty was to and what his lineage
Exactly.
is. That's no one lying on him or talking about
He's
him.
talked that himself.
He said that himself. And now you see, based on his actions, what he is doing.
Exactly.
Listen, when I in America, I look out for Bahamians. I see a Bahamian, I can look out for them. So Brave is in the Bahamas. I guess it's a strange land to him. So he looking out for his people. Can't kill a man for that. But I can condemn you for letting it happen in your country. For continuing to vote for it.
Exactly.
Pintard is the same way. Fred Smith was born in Haiti. And so he's looking out for them. The Haitians. That's why he was fighting for them. He wouldn't let you deport them. He wouldn't let you break down the shanty towns. He fought in the courts. Pintard was there with him. Pintard fought with him as a part of their saves the base nonsense, where they were fighting for these people for illegality, in my opinion. And Pintard, we heard that the person he called his mother, Miss Benson, was his adopted mother,
Yes.
and that he had a different mother
Mhm.
before, and this different mother, they're saying, is not Bahamian. She's Haitian, but he doesn't answer. He doesn't answer when you ask him. Why not? I can answer. I can tell you who my mother is. I can tell you my daddy is. I'll talk with them for an hour. I can tell you my grandparents are, my great grandparents. I ain't ashamed to talk with them. If you ask me, if you tell me my mother was Asian, I can tell you no. My mother was an Exuma woman. Grew up in Exuma. Her daddy was from Cat Island. I can tell you that. You ain't got no shame in that game. I can tell you my daddy is and his mommy and everybody. But see, this is what Pintardem was working on. I got a copy of it right here. You see?
What's it called?
This is the book that they sent around to the United Nations.
Oh, yes.
This is it.
Mm-hmm.
This book full of lies, Steve. This demonic book of lies was sent around to the United Nations by Pintard and them. Everyone who's watching online can see this book. It's called Immigration Law Rights in the Bahamas, written in English, Creole, and Spanish by Rights Bahamas. And in the book, they have all kinds of lies. You can see all them Louis George and Fred Smith and all them standing up with the picture. And then they got some nasty pictures. See here, Steve? The people online can see this. They got German Shepherd dogs biting up, attacking the people. One, our immigration didn't have no dogs. And two, they're seeing the Bahamas. You could look at their uniform and see they're seeing the Bahamas. But they actually put a book together to defame the Bahamas. This is what Pintard them do.
My Lord.
Fred Smith them did. And this man could have the nerve to talk, but he running this Bahamas? He wants to run the Bahamas? Y'all sound like y'all want a coup d'etat.
Maybe we do.
Ain't no one who would do this to their own country. If anyone who is running in America was found to have done something like this to America,
That's it.
they couldn't even get near politics in America. But Bahamians are too passive and docile. How could you have Pintard running after being a part of this crew? See what they have here? You could see, Steve, at a glance, you could see that this is not the Bahamas.
Of course it isn't.
This isn't the Bahamas because we ain't got no dogs. And look at the uniforms. Oh, and the officer have a gun in his hand to unarmed people. A gun in his hand. And they showing the man crying and getting beat with big stick. With this uniform, I mean, you could see this in the Bahamas. They're showing the imagery. Then they showed something for the Bahamas.
Just to make the Bahamas look bad.
Yeah, they showed the barefoot bandit. For those online on my pages, you can see that. They show the barefoot bandit on the next page, right? Yeah, that's in the book. Then they show Fred Smith holding this woman and the woman crying. And he is a comfort to her. Then they show him walking with the other man in handcuffs, you know. And
these are the rights people, you know. See?
Yeah.
They're the righteous ones.
Then they got some other people. They got the man on the ground bending him down and on top of him and his mouth bleeding. And you can tell that this is not the Bahamas. And that's white officers. You see? But that's what they went and used as they spread their lies to the UN. Pintard was their PR man. See ya? Look at this out. This is a white immigration officer. We don't have none of them. No, not one, Steve.
Yeah, I want to
We
see
put
that.
it. Yeah, I can make it so you can see it. Good. All right. There's a white immigration officer. Them kind of house in this picture, they don't have them in the Bahamas. All right. Let me show you the next page. It's the story time today. Then they show the breaking down of a shanty town. And they showing the blood all over these people like they got brutalized. Look, Steve, they showing the blood all over these immigrants. That don't happen here. They showing the blood all over these people. Look, let me put it closer to my camera so they can see that. Look, they got the blood all over the man's clothes. I can put it in your camera right now, Steve. Look at that. The blood all over the man's clothes. We put it there. Look. People on Steve Live, look at that. The blood. And look at the immigration officers, man. You see now, people? You know? We continue, and they showing Steve, what is his name? I'm Fred Smith again fighting with them. Next page. There's plenty of pages. You see how much pages I've been turning? A book full of lies. It's Pintard them.
Who wants to leave the country?
Yeah, this is the people who was working with Pintard.
Yeah.
Pintard was working with Save the Base. All right? Now they got the immigration, like they grabbing up the baby and the baby hanging with the pampers hanging, and they got the immigration carrying the baby. basically saying they separating the children from their parents. Then they got these. Is a serious one here. I want you to see. Look at this. Look at these Tan Macoot they got in this picture. I'm sorry for the radio audience. I sorry you can't see this. We're trying to describe it. To describe Pintard's them work of art. You look at them and harassing and beating down the people. You know, they're trying to paint an image. You know, then they're showing their buildings marked to be demolished. Now they're showing, look, the people in cages, the little cages they got them in. They're showing that. That ain't. I mean, come on, man.
They
And
did all this thing because they had a focus on the future. This is what they wanted to get done. This
because
happened
they
in
wanted to soften our
yes,
will
yes.
and get the courts against us, get the international community against us. This is what Fred Smith and his minions, Pintard and all those people were preparing.
And now they're making inroads because Louis
I,
George and them they're now big thing in the Bahamas.
now, when you see this one, they showed this wicked. They showed a baby getting brutalized. So that's what they want people to think. Let me make sure I show them. This is a baby. Oh, there she is for my audience. Look at the blood all over her face. This is what they put in the book. The baby getting brutalized. She's sitting down in the car, and they showing this sad picture to the international community. This the picture they showed to the international community in their book. This baby brutalized. Let me make sure your audience can see it. Yeah, they can see it now. Brutalized. All right. This was a baby who was in a car accident, Steve.
My lord.
Nothing to do with immigration. They took this picture and put it in here. Nothing to do with immigration.
Wicked.
Nothing. See? And there's more pages. Here, me still turning pages. Look at this woman with her hand bloody standing in front of the police like she's standing up. Standing up all right. Look at her right there. Standing, the hand is bloody. See? Bloody hand. Make sure your people can see that. They showed a woman with a bloody hand in front of the police. This ain't Bahamas. This is what they did to us. How could Pintard show his face in this country? While after working for these people. Look at another baby. Brutalized. Look at this. Worse. Look here. Brutalized. Baby was in a car accident. Not a picture of the baby. Look. Was in a car accident. They put the picture there like immigration do something to them. They say this law number 50, you have a right to be treated nicely.
This is shocking.
So you have a right to be treated respectfully. You have a right to be treated nicely. And then they showing the baby with all the wounds and stuff. In other words, they trying to portray that that's what immigration did. Then they show a picture of the shanty town being burned down to say this what the Munsters in the Bahamas doing to these innocent illegal immigrants. They didn't even want us calling them illegals. They started this thing, but you can't call them illegals. They humans. Humans can't be illegal. Until I had to read the law, our law, on my life to show you that the law calls them illegals. Actually does. More pictures of brutalization. I'll end that there. Steve, you notice shanty towns, houses in shanty towns, because they ain't bringing down no shanty towns. Houses in shanty towns being broken down, but you ain't hear Louis them complaining. You ain't hear Steve Smith, Fred Smith, sorry. Fred Smith complaining. Pintard them don't care no more. The Haitians ain't complaining. They saying vote for Brave. So if Brave really breaking down these houses, are you saying vote for Brave? It's because they ain't really breaking them down. They are finding housing for these people, putting them in the housing.
That's right. We talked about it
apartments and housing.
Yeah.
And then the ones they have found housing for, they breaking down those houses,
Mhm.
and then they coming back in the media saying, "Oh, we have broken down 40
But not
houses
only that, while they put those people in other places like apartments and
at
stuff,
our expense. We paying for that."
what they actually doing? They are saying to people, now you live 2 Peter Street. See, that's the example I use.
Mm-hmm.
You live 2 Peter Street now. You in the bush no more. You live 2 Peter Street. So you are a resident of Peter Street.
Mm-hmm.
So here it is. This is where you live.
Mm-hmm.
So your Peter Street is your constituency. You can vote in Peter Street.
Mm-hmm.
They're filling up the whole gap.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
But do the Bahamian people know this? That's what I'm saying.
They don't know yet, but they're gonna have to wake up. Because now these people have proof of address. Before, when they were just in the shanty towns, they didn't have proof of address. So a lot of them couldn't vote. But Brave them is using our money against us by putting them in apartments and houses. So now they have a proof of address so that now they can vote. So before, people was asking, well, why these Asians ain't turning out to vote? Maybe they just don't care. It's because they didn't have that proof of address. But now Brave them putting them in houses at our expense. We getting swing left, right, and center.
Hello.
It's happening at our expense, Steve.
I gotta take this call.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, caller. How are you?
Steve, how are you?
557. All is well.
It's always a pleasure to have my president in studio.
Yes.
Mr. Ben, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Excellent. God is the greatest. Listen, there's another thing they're doing as well. And I've just video record again. For the past 6 years, I've been living in this area, and it has about 7 to 8 abandoned homes in this area. Okay? Homes that doesn't have roofs on it. And there was a court matter in reference to these homes that were in construction in this area. But they now have bushes and trees all around them. There's a next individual that cleared the property around one of the abandoned buildings. And they're taking over these homes. They're putting roofs on the homes and living in it. They have somebody, the first person that did it, I went to the Ministry of Works and Health. Right? And they did nothing. You know what they tell me in the Ministry of Works? The gentleman, the senior gentleman, I know his name, we wouldn't call him. And I get back to him again. He said they ain't got no cars. They ain't got no cars to come and investigate these people. They are living in these homes. And the thing is, right, upstairs, Mr. Bean, these particular homes, these people are taking over. Two of them doesn't have, one of them doesn't have a cesspit. But they have a garbage bin in the front of the house. And the garbage people are collecting these people garbage. They're putting the roofs on these homes and no permit, no number. I asked a fellow the other day, where's your number? He said, what number are you talking about? I said, you have to have a number. That's what cost me to raise the red flag to go to the Ministry of Works. But yet still, these young boys, these are not Bahamians. The mentality of Bahamians are not to take over homes in bushes and live in it. Be different. You don't do things like that. So I know for a fact these people are not Bahamians. You understand me? And it's like the government it's like they're allowing this nonsense to happen because I've been reporting this for days now, for months now. And these people are taking over these abandoned homes, and the government is not doing anything. And I'm going back to the Ministry of Works, and I'm gonna show them the video again, and I'm gonna keep on preaching. I'm gonna put it on.
They're driving people mad.
I'm gonna keep on posting it and tell the Bahamians see what these people are doing, and this government is destroying this country. Steve, you sure? Let me ask you a personal question. Are you sure Brave Davis, somebody under the PLP or FNM did do Brave Davis like that? Because this gentleman don't have, it have to.
Damn right.
Because this is not what Cylinder and fight for. So
this thing has a lot to do with
something.
This thing has a lot to do with that same story that Brave Davis told the other day. That same story with Penn and them jive him, and Hubert Ingram jived him, and Perry Chrissy jived him. You may be surprised how far that go. That's a deep story. I know the whole story, I can talk the story one day. That's a big story. You need to understand how deep that is.
Something happened, and he just was sitting patiently.
That's what he did.
To get it power to destroy this country.
Mm-hmm.
You hear me? Then let these people come in and destroy this country. No way in heaven you can bring in another culture in a country to overrun a country. That is treason.
Mm-hmm.
That
Well,
is treason.
Brave don't care what
hear
you
me?
call it. People call it treason. People call it the corruption. People call it all kinds of stuff. But Mr. Davis doesn't care what you call it. He's getting away with it.
Your Bahamians fight Mr. Bean down because Mr. Bean are opening the Bahamians eyes, See, if you see them grandchildren you up there,
Mm-hmm.
let me go on this. You see those grandchildren you up there?
Yes.
Why you give them a good education?
So they can help something. So they go somewhere in the future.
So nobody can take advantage of them.
Absolutely.
So they could move on. So they could know what their value and what their worth. You see the same naked being there? Only person who cares about a person educates them
That's right.
about your value on what you worth. None of these clowns have ever educated us like how Mr. Bean educated us. Their job is to keep us dumb and to keep us running to them for what we need. But you see the same Mr. Bean there? He educates Bahamians from the. To see why God beat Mr. Bean still didn't go off the scene. He's still on the scene. So what that's telling you?
Mm-hmm.
That's telling you this man is sincere about what he's doing. You guys have a good day.
All the best. Thank you for your call.
Steve, something that was heart wrenching for me,
Mm-hmm.
right? I go in the food stores quite often. You know, sometimes I buy groceries for people and help people and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
One day I was in the store. Sorry about that. One day I was in the store and I saw these parking boys. They were changing the prices on the hot dogs and sausages and that kind of stuff. And that was when the controversy came up with that.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the boys was sitting there just staring at the next boy, just staring at him hard. And the other boy was like he was in his glory and laughing and smirking. And the boy who was sitting staring at the other boy hard, he was a Bahamian boy. The other boy was a Haitian boy. And the Bahamian boy who was staring at him hard, he said it while we was walking past. He said, I can learn your language so you can't diss me no more. I can learn your language so you can't play me no more.
Wow.
I can learn your language so you can't swing me no more. And I saw the hurt and pain in the eyes of that Bahamian young boy. I saw it. And so I made a vow to start tipping the Bahamian little boys, exponentially.
Yeah.
I give them good tip. So they know me when I walk in, they come running to help me. But just to give a little arm up to our boys
Mm-hmm.
who are being cast to the side in this whole nation, not just in that food store.
Yes.
The ones who want to do construction, they're getting pushed to the side.
In their own
The ones who want our young men who want contracts are losing contracts because the other people are getting the contracts. Our children are being bullied in school. And you have a government sitting down? Let me tell you something. Help is coming to our Bahamian people. It's coming.
We need the help.
It's only a few months away. It's only a few months away and we go right all these wrongs. We don't have a problem with no one, But you can't stress my people out in my country.
No, sir.
You can't come in my house, Steve, and stress my children out.
No, sir.
You can't come in my house the wrong way.
We ain't gonna let you do it.
And my children can't eat, but you could eat?
No, sir.
No. We can fix this.
And that's how Bahamians ought to take this whole situation.
And I'm calling on the men of this country to stand up, protect our women and children.
You have to.
Stand up. Stop being afraid. I hear some men saying, some places you go, you got to talk soft because you don't know who is who. What you mean you don't know who is who? This is our country. Don't talk soft in our country because they talking loud now.
Loud.
You don't know who is who? Do you know what you are saying? That means when they really get a foothold, you could just sit down like a little puppy.
Exactly.
And let them stump you and your children.
Let them brutalize you and your children. Those same little boys and little children, your little daughters, that's what they can do.
Bahamian men stand
We're
up
dealing
and
with a
fight.
completely different set of people. These people are not to be dealt with. We have to understand what we are dealing with. These people are not of our kind. Get that in your heads. Anyhow, let me tell you something. I tell you about this fellow who is now in charge of immigration. He claims that he's the one who does, he sits to the immigration board. He sounds effeminate. I can be honest with you. He sounds effeminate. Okay? And I don't even know who he is. And I can tell you this, he is a bad example of what is supposed to be responsible for immigration in the Bahamas.
Mm.
I don't care if he takes offense to that. I'm telling you what I feel. He does not sound as if he understands what time it really is in this country. After the justice of the peace, then give the damn country away. After these preachers, then give the country away. We're now dealing with a man in immigration who sits on the board with the cabinet. They're so privileged to be doing that, sitting on the board with the cabinet and all that. And they're passing these bills left, right, and center to allow for these people to be here. And they can't even speak English no more. It has gotten that bad. This is the man I'm talking about. All right? And I have to play this soundbite for you because I've been promising to play this. But you know, sometimes we get so much things that we got to do one time. But here's something. Here's a little tidbit so you can get the idea. This is the man in immigration. All right? The government is giving out citizenship. As the director, all citizenship applications come through me. And one thing, I don't take that lightly. They must follow the guidelines of the Bahamas Nationality Act. Most of these persons who are approved for citizenship, the request goes to the Citizenship Listen Commission, to what he's saying, which was put in place by the previous administration, the Free National Movement. This present government allows the commission and all of the members to remain in place. And so every application goes to the Citizenship Commission. These are persons who have been here 25, 30 years, far as I know, because I have to make sure before they go to the Immigration Board, which is the cabinet, they first go to the Citizenship Commission, from the commission to the minister, from the minister to the Immigration Board, which is the cabinet. I also sit in the cabinet or in the Immigration Board as director of immigration. And I will never sell my country. The word is that he would never sell his country. That's what he's saying. He said all that to say he'll never sell his country, but he made so many mistakes in that same statement. That little 1 minute and 17-second statement. You know what he said? He said they go by the Nationality Act. First and foremost, Mr. Immigration Officer, as the director, there's no such thing as a Nationality Act. You know that, we know that, the government knows that, and it's foolishness. Secondly, you going by the Nationality Act, they cannot renounce based on the Nationality Act. All these things we have taught you all, the people of this country. The Constitution is the only thing that you can act on. But you are the immigration director. But you don't sound like you know what you're talking about. I have to send it to you today. How you know what you're talking about and you talking about the immigration, the Nationality Act and stuff. That has nothing to do with anything. Nothing. You go to court and they will tell you, my friend, where's the Constitution? Where does the Constitution say this? You cannot point that out to any court of law. You can't, because it doesn't say that. That's what I'm talking about. See, this is what I'm talking. See, these are ignorant people who, in fact, running the show.
And if you're going by that law, how do you have all of these people who can't speak English with our passports?
Exactly.
The law says, their law says that you have to speak English to be naturalized.
You know, there's so much mix up. And you see, I really don't want to be the one to say what I have to say, but I have to tell you because I am the guardian of the Bahamian people. I have made myself the guardian of the Bahamian people because a lot of us don't want to research these things. We hear these things, these nice things, what they're talking about. It sounds so sweet and so beautiful. When you check that it's not so, it is incorrect. They know it's incorrect, but they're fooling you with it anyway because you accepted it.
Mhm.
That's all that's happening to us.
Mhm.
So this man, I just want to play this just one more time so you could hear what he's actually saying. Listen to it. Please hear what he's saying so you can understand what I'm talking about. See? You didn't get it the first time. Listen to this again. The government is giving out citizenship as the government is giving us citizenship. Or citizenship application comes from me. And one thing, I don't take that lightly. They must follow the guidelines of the Bahamas Nationality Act. Most of these persons who approve for citizenship, yeah. the request goes to the Citizenship Commission, which was put in place by the previous administration, the Free National Movement. This present government allows the commission and all of the members to remain in place, and so every application goes to the Citizenship Commission. These are persons who have been here 25, this is this man's idea. So what have they been at that now? Because I have to make sure before they go to the Immigration Board, which is the cabinet, they first go to the Citizenship Commission. From the commission to the minister, from the minister to the Immigration Board, which is the cabinet. I also sit in the cabinet or in the Immigration Board as director of immigration. And I will never sell my country. The word is that
Steve,
never sell his country.
Steve,
My lord.
it doesn't matter if you've been here illegally 20, 30 years.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Let me put that in perspective for you. Illegal immigration is a crime. That's a crime. That's a criminal offense. A crime.
The government
it is against the law. And so what you're saying is that, oh, it doesn't matter if someone, so you're saying that if someone was robbing banks for 20, 30 years, you can't stop them now. How you can stop the man from robbing banks?
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, he been doing this for 20, 30 years. Yes, let the man rob banks.
Let the man rob
the man been a drug dealer for 20, 30 years. How you could stop the man livelihood, man? Come on, man. That's the only way the man know how to make money.
Ah, boy, I love it.
Let him. Yeah, he been doing it for 20, 30. They find every excuse for evil.
My lord.
Again, I don't have a problem with immigration. I have a problem with illegal immigration. I don't want the Bahamas to turn into Haiti. Just like how South Florida turned into Cuba. South Florida turned into Cuba. Utah turned into a Mormon society.
Exactly.
I don't want this to turn into that. And corruption is what did that. Corruption.
Absolute corruption.
And it's corruption that is destroying our society. We have to act now.
Act now or regret it later. Hard copy, how you doing?
You have the man. Our black says the man. I'm the man. You got the man in the house. Kudos to him. He survived many storms. Let me say something to everyone in Radio Land. I'm going to give you a bit of a 2-minute history, but I'm getting to the meat of everything. The Bahamian people, the organic people, and everyone who means this country well. They forget, they don't know, and they are missing the point. Any country that you see, immigrants are invading. The smugglers making money, the politicians making money, and whoever wants to make money. Then you have a country where the organic people are crying out, we have an invasion. Do you know what the big secret is?
What?
The big secret, monies are being given from international organizations to fund it.
That is correct.
With Haitian, Jamaican, Puerto Rican, whoever, and we will help you. That's the big secret. It ain't just a lot of people invading a country. Let me give you a story. Turkey was getting in a lot of Ukraine refugees. This international organization quoted how much millions they gave Turkey to house these Ukraine refugees. The Turkish government realized no money in the world once they get invaded by the Ukrainians to take back their country. They had 10,000 refugees in camps and tents. Turkey told the international community, we cannot accept any more refugees. They have to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have a country that you have money junkies. A junkie is the extreme point of an addict. An addict has some control. A junkie does not have any control. When you become a money junkie, if somebody tell you, tie off on your neck, jump off a boat, pop your neck, cut your jugular vein, you're going to get some money, you will do it. What has happened? The Bahamas, we have become money junkies. Big bucks are being passed to house these people here. It's a big secret. Those who are in the spiritual realm, they see it. When you have a house, and I want to bring everybody into your house, the wife is complaining, why are you flooding my house with these people? She doesn't know that you and I have an agreement. I'm giving you big bucks, so you don't give a damn if the children and the people up in the trees. We have been hoodwinked. We trusted our politicians. We trusted people that get to keep this country for us. But the Haitians know what the deal is. That is why they're throwing it in our face to say, y'all don't know what it is. Any country that is being invaded by immigrants under the disguise of refugees, big money is being passed. And we get to know that eventually the secret will come out. And you got these bohemian, stupid people who siding with immigrants. They don't know what time of day it is, but the immigrants know what time it is, and that's why they go to all these places saying that they're being mistreated. Why? Because monies are being passed to take care of us. You're giving the Bahamian people money, and this is the abuse we are doing. The secret is money, M-O-N-E-Y. They don't give a damn if this country grow a thing, because why? We getting some money, and some of the politicians know what the deal is. But I ain't gonna talk on you, and you ain't gonna talk on me, because why? We did the bank robbery together. We cohesive. We got the bank manager involved. We got the teller involved. We got the security officer involved. We're all in it together. So when the buck pass from you, it come to me. It is money being passed, and big money. And it's a damn shame to see what we come down to. We don't give a whole country away for money. And these international organizations, they don't care, because why? We're a bunch of money junkies, and they want this place to be taken over by the immigrants so they can come in. And the plan is, flooded with these immigrants. We got a bunch of natural resources here, all our coal and whatnot, and when the immigrants take over, they will flip the script on them to say, you'll get you behind us. This country belongs to the organic Bahamians, and the politicians who accept all this money, some of them would be around for the immigrants to push them around. The immigrants know what time of day it is, but you cannot find a Bahamian who know. I salute the Turkish government. They have bonds, no money from the international organization could measure up to take Turkey and turn it into Ukraine. So you know what the Turkish government do? So we don't want no more here. If it's and they're that busy-headed retired police officer because now the immigrants would have been in our house, they would have been beating us and throwing rock on our head, and it's only a matter of choice before they time on these politicians and all of that. It's all about money, and that's all I have to say.
You said a mouthful. You were in the spirit just now, so I didn't interrupt you. I thought that what you had to say was very, very important. You open up the big picture, and some people may say, "Oh, that's just conspiracy theory." But you see, where there's smoke, there's fire. As the old people used to say one time, because I quoted on the show today and last week, anytime you hear the blacks heralding something, if it ain't true, it ain't far from the truth. See, once you paint that picture of money, the international people, they're flooding this place, they wanted this place to be what it is, and they can come in later on and take over and run these fellas out of town, that makes some sense to some people who
Steve,
are in fact thinking.
don't watch what they say, watch what they do.
Exactly.
When the Prime Minister went to LA to that immigration summit that he went to, they didn't tell the people what he did and what he went there for, etc., etc. We had to expose that this man made a deal as it relates to immigration in this country. That was under the Biden administration.
Okay.
Now, what he did was come back and say he didn't sign. And he keeps saying he didn't sign.
Yes,
but that arrangement wasn't for anybody to sign. All right?
Absolutely.
People who didn't agree with it didn't come and take the pictures with them. All right? Some of them just didn't even show up. But the people who didn't agree with it just didn't take the picture. Brave was right there taking a picture with them. With the people who agreed with this. There was nothing to sign. All right? This was just an arrangement where they would do certain things and you would allow the immigrants to come in. So even though he said he didn't sign, you saw him allowing people to flood into this country.
Yes.
You see them now paying for the housing of these people. Everything that was happening in America is happening here. Everything that was happening under Biden, you see it happening here also. So how could Brave say he didn't make that agreement?
My Lord.
Just open your eyes. Watch what they do. Don't watch what they say. You can't trust politicians. And so that continues. But this is a different administration in America. And they don't want any and everybody coming into their borders. They don't want the drug dealers coming through Haiti, coming to the Bahamas, and coming to Florida. They don't want that. And so I stand with them on that. That we got to close our borders.
No question about it.
We are liable if we allow those persons to come in and then ship to America. Go ahead.
Hard copy, how are you? Hard copy, how are you?
Good evening, Mr. Mckinney. Poppy, how you doing?
Papa, how you doing, man?
Thank God for life. Good evening, Mr. Bain.
Good evening, my brother.
Mr. Bain, you have any WhatsApp number for instance, for Brandon Family Alice, like in text, you might have the time to talk on the phone. To talk to them, maybe the leadership, your leadership of the COI, and either ideas or suggestions or challenges they going to go. Either get registered or vote or whatever. I don't know if you have a registered drive going on, but I think you have a live on an email, not an email, somewhere on the internet where you could catch you live, but I talk about voices of like even when let their voice be heard, be able to, encourage you, see why. Hello?
Yes, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Okay, and I wanted to find out from the debate also if that indictment what they have in America on those officers over here. Do you have any idea? I don't know if they say the person is a banker, high government, former banker, high government officials who either agree or made some agreement with those alleged drug smugglers who was on the Royal Bahamas for these sports for $2 million. It was reported on the news. You have any idea who's it and is the American government how are playing over there? Or the plane is back here now, so did they find any drugs on the plane? One last thing, Mr. Mckinney. The Houston was complaining that the children that this been happening some years ago used to talk about it before you had your radio station. And they saying that the children they can't speak English and they speak in Creole when the teachers then talk to them and it's frustrating and it's slowing down the class. had a problem where the gangs in the school, either the Haitians fighting against Haitians or fighting against the Haitians, the Haitian behaviors or the behavior. And when they come out of school, either graduate, they can't involve in killing and shooting and killing of one another. So I wanted to know what's the solution. What idea you would suggest to the government until you become the government. I believe all these political parties, we have all these three major political parties, CIF and MTLP, someone to go in opposition for 10 years. I believe the behaving people, I'm not going to underestimate them, but I'm not sure what they're going to do. The behaving people fed up and tired. They seem to be quiet. There's still too much of us like bad treatment. This 4 years later since we woke our mind and created this, we know for all of these years, who tell people, communicate with people. He might stumble over words and stuff, but the end of the day, he can say, yes, that's how we did know him. This new man who there, who don't communicate with us.
It's the same Brave Davis you talk about.
Yes, this man, I don't know who he is today. Mckinney can't tell you that's Brave Davis. That ain't Brave Davis. That ain't Brave Davis. That's Fight for Penny.
Who is it? Who is that man? Who's that man who wears the flag and the clothes and driving the Prime Minister's car? Who is that man? That's not Brave Davis?
That's a zombie. Someone must fix him.
That can't be Brave Davis who we know all of these years.
Doesn't appear that way to me either, but you know, he is parading around as the Prime Minister of the Bahamas.
But I can assure today, 4 years later, a lot of people who had hopes and feel like if Brave Davis become the Prime Minister, they can empower their community, to empower this country. It seems like it's a good friends. I mean, we never know that man talking with these Haitians. Tell the Haitian people they got to stay away from now so they can get back together later. The man even in checking for talking what he wants in terms.
Poor we.
The people use the word deception. That's what he about. That's what he about. But Mckinney, I think that's not the first time I heard a word, but maybe I say feminine. What did you say? Did you say effeminate?
Effeminate, yeah.
Effeminate?
Oh, effeminate.
You put it,
yeah.
You put E in the front of it?
Yeah, effeminate, yeah.
Yeah, T, effeminate.
Yeah.
I taught a friend when you use that word. So it's okay. It's okay. Effeminate. Can you break it down?
The word is in the Bible in Romans 1.
Anyway, I got to ask you what it is. It sounds like it reminds me of people like Fred Mitchell.
Well.
Anyhow, I'll give it to the chance to answer this Mckinney.
All the best. Thank you.
All right, so he asked a lot of questions, so I'll do what I can. I think he asked for a number. I always give him my number. My number is 8035995. You can always send a text. We're going to release a 24-hour line so that people can call and reach our candidates at any time. But I think it makes sense for us to put a directory on our website so people can get specific candidates. He also asked about that indictment. That indictment is serious, and that is worse than Pablo Escobar in those situations.
Of course it is.
Because in the Pablo Escobar and Joe Lida situation, and Joe Lida has come out again, Carlos Lida, and he is talking about what happened back then. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What happened then was Pinley and them were paid to close a blind eye, to turn a blind eye. They were paid to look the other way. They weren't participating. Mm-hmm. But now there look like there is allegations that officials are participating in this. Yes. That senior politicians controlling the streets, the gangsters, the drugs, everything is running through them. And so it's participation that they run the streets. All right? And America knows that. And that's why they're making these little comments every so often. They know that. And in fact, Trump just reported the Bahamas as a drug smuggling country, all right, to Congress. They know what's going on. Bahamians don't know, but America watching. And so we can play crazy, but America watching, all right? So they know our Southern Islands was used to bring the drugs in, all right? Bring the legal immigrants and the drugs and the guns. And they know our Northern Islands were used to smuggle the drugs to America. They know that. They know the drug unit, the K9 unit, wasn't allowed to go and search the airplanes in Grand Bahama for years. They know that. All right. Um, the excuse was they didn't have a van to put the dog in. They didn't have a vehicle to take the dog there. Come on.
My lord.
And so they made sure the K9 unit couldn't get a vehicle to take the dog to search the bags, etc. So they know what's going on.
They know the play.
They will be
They
reaping a gnashing
understand.
of teeth. And so for Papa, it was a politician, not a banker. It's a senior politician. All right. And do I know? Yes, I've been given some names. I'm not going to be the one to release that. All right. I guess
Wait for the courts to do it. The courts are
whoever
going to do it.
has
The courts are
the
going to do it.
yeah,
They're going to do
but
it.
that shoe is going to drop.
Yeah.
That shoe is going to drop. All right. And then they will be
And
reaping a gnashing of teeth.
A lot of fellas are very afraid because they know who them people are too. But you see, we can't talk it because that is one of the things that we hold and we have ideas. But the point is, we're not talking that. Let the courts do their work. Let the investigators do their work. And when it come down, it'll come down like a big pile of something that will fall on our heads.
I'm not gonna
really fall on.
I'm not gonna help anyone know to break off running.
That's right.
But they know who they are.
Yes.
All right. They know who they are.
Exactly.
So, we need a new government. It's broken.
Yeah.
All right. And so I want you to watch and see when gang leaders have been killed recently. I want you to pay attention to what's going on. Some mouths are being closed. I believe that politicians are involved with some of what is going on to silence some of these people who've been doing dirt for them.
My lord.
All right?
Dirty game.
You can take a call.
Hard copy, how you doing today?
Good evening, Mr. Mckinney. Good evening,
yes, sir.
Lincoln Bain.
How are you?
Good evening.
If I want to inquire on that container that was stopped by police and apprehended and has gone quiet, nobody heard them, but that no more.
You're talking about the ones with the guns?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, they buried those guns. They said they buried most of those guns.
Those guns they buried were old guns. They don't
guns
even look like the guns they use today.
I was in the police force, so I know.
Yeah.
What you do.
You know guns, Steve. Yeah. And I know guns. There were some old rusty guns.
So that's what they buried. But that's what they're saying, that they got rid of those guns, they buried them in the pavement.
They put concrete on top of them. So the first row of guns on the top, and they put wood on the side. The first row of guns on the top, you can't dig from the top to get them, but you could dig from the side or from underneath and get all the guns that's underneath. So after everyone stopped watching, they could go right back and get them guns. Look at how that was so-called buried. It makes no sense. But they were old guns.
Very well said. Very well said, Mr. Bain. Those guns were old guns that were in the army for maybe 40 or 50 years.
Yeah.
They were not the guns that came in that container.
There were no AK-47s and Uzi and M16s up there. Yeah.
You remember Rust-Oleum, eh? Only on weekends. That's touch of time, they say.
What I'm about to say is not speculation, it's not hearsay. Kamala Harris came here, and you know who her sister was, right? The lady that her spokesman. She's of Asian descent. She's of Asian descent. I'm not talking hearsay, I'm talking truth. The problem we have in this country is what Naked Bain and the Coalition of Independents represent, and you, Mr. Mckinney, and a lot more other behemoths. The problem we have in this country is people don't want the truth. People do not want the truth. And that man sitting in your radio station, Mr. Lincoln Bain, represents the truth. He represents truth if it means he has to trample on his own. Unless you can call a spade, you're not ready for leadership. You cannot turn a blind eye to criminal, the crime, and turn on and say it's right. Mr. Lincoln Bain, Mr. Mckinney, Bahama Nation, listen to me. The last election before Mr. Minnis got into power, the Lord revealed that some of the politicians were to get their head chopped off. They were going to get their head chopped off. He gathered a few people and he said, look here, pray about the situation and I will stop it. Politicians, homes were going to get broken in. There was contract out for these guys' head to get chopped off. I will not say who. When the time comes, I will share that with Mr. Bean and you, Mr. McKinney. Politicians who are about to be murdered, paid assassins were ready to take them out, but God said, no, that's not going to happen in my country. Put my way back to me, and I will cancel this virus from around y'all. Listen to me. See, knowledge is power. And a lot of people talking, which is good. But when God speaks, we listen and we act and we do what he has to say. These same politicians worrying up to these people, they can be the first set of people they come out. They going after. They think they safe by being in these gated community behind the wall. Them people know how to hop on. Them know people know how to climb on one another's shoulder and get over there. They come in the chop you all up. The lady was right. Money, some big time money channel. When a woman come here, Kamala Harris, she gave some money with the government. When the FNM win the last general election, I was at the Prime Minister's office. And God is my witness today. 3 Chinese walk into that office with 3 silver briefcases, and when they left empty-handed. Mr. Minister, former Prime Minister, should sit his ass down and go shut up. He has nothing. He has no input. He should just disappear. Human Alexander Ingram should just disappear. Perry Glassford Christie should just disappear. These men have, Mr. Lincoln Bain, God has galvanized some people that he's going to attach to you. So you will, this is going to be smooth sailing for you. Because when God says the Lord, you're going to act. You're a man that fears God. The people that are in this country, that has run this country for 52 years, they did not fear God. The fear of God was not in them. That's why this country has been sold out for filthy lucre, and it continues today. Criminal activities is at the highest, starts from the highest level. God has a plan to help you in your vision that he's given you, Mr. Day. He's galvanizing some people that he's going to bring in your midst, and this country is going to get got out from the bottom, from the top, straight down to the bottom. We're not rebuilding the Bahamas. We're building a new Bahamas. The situation is so bad, you might even have to look into building another person. Because a lot of people got to get corrected, man. And it's going to be hard, and people don't like the truth. The truth is going to set you free in this nation, sir. And if you continue on the way you're going, God is going to strengthen you. He's going to continue to empower you. Like you said, that's your daddy. Your daddy put you in a position where you were feared. And I can tell you this from a spiritual point of view. You have to fear God in you. And none of our leaders, I said, not one of our leaders had that. Not one of the behemoth prime ministers had the fear of God in them. And one of the worst things we have in this problem is criminality. It starts right in the church. People walk around with these big dirty robes on and think, talking with this bishop and this thing and the next thing. And that reminds me, they're the biggest set of criminals there. I was glad when you took a stand, Mr. Bain, and did not go to that so-called praying for the nation crap that they so-called had, what they were supposed to have downtown. Let me tell you something. If God is going to have a prayer for the nation, if God is going to call you and say you're going to pray for the nation, God will put everything on hold. There won't be any crime. How the hell God will call you and tell you pray for the nation and crime, and somebody gets shoot right around the corner by you? Our God don't operate like that. These people they want to be in the spotlight at a certain time when all of a sudden, why is this man has been selling out this country to the foreigners? They moved as quiet and still quiet today because they got a piece of land, couple contracts, they got a couple taxi plates, they got a couple rental businesses thing. And again, Mr. Bain, Mr. McKinney, how come all of these people driving around here with these FD and these people ain't got no license? The FD people who rent out the FD, rent out the FD to these people, they driving in the road, the minute they hit your car, they leave the car and break up on it. Mr. Bain, God is surrounding you. He's surrounding you with some people that you build the new Bahamas. I don't want to fix this one. This one can't get fixed. This one has to get broken down, and then the new Bahamas will get rebuilt. But I tell the people that have the fear of God in them.
Amen.
I want to always use that word, the fear of God. That's what's missing out of this Bahamas. Thank you very much, Jeff.
Appreciate it. Boy, listen, that's a serious thing. And of course, that's how it is. Now, Lincoln, I've got to run and pay a bill. Let me do that, and then we'll come back and wrap some things up because it's right now 6:42 in the clock right now. and we want to pay some bills. And so stick with us. We're going to be back, and we've got to tackle some other things because we're looking at this whole thing in
I
Pinewood
want
Gardens.
you to discuss that document in front of you with the Bahamian people.
Yeah,
Because that's a serious document.
yeah, that's what we're going to turn our attention to that when we come back. All right, let's go to the break and pay some bills.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to a break. So during the break, you won't be able to hear us, but we'll be right back. We're going to show the Bahamas this document.
Near and far, they come here and they prosper. Yeah. Illegal migrants don't care. I wonder if they were invited here. Okay, Lord. Okay. Welcome to the Bahamas, where anything goes, and the citizens are sitting in the second row, whilst everybody else is treated like first class. Now you see why I'm at. I mean, this feels like an invasion. They come here and doing better than you and me. No expenses.
Okay, this commercial. This is a signature commercial on my show, right? I told Dr. MacGyver, make sure I have these
at the sky. And if the beach look like gold rocks, it's because they sold
Okay, thank you.
sand. Greedy, lousy politicians, all they good for is selling up our
You think I'd be doing it?
Time to change it. I'm giving it one more try. Just want a better Bahamas. Just need a future for our sons and daughters. This time around, I'm voting for the CEO. Anything is better than what got it over the last 20
COI is very, very powerful.
What a mess, I think it's high
Very
time.
powerful.
Hear me answer
See that guy tell
first. I
you?
see plenty in this country,
People are going
and
to come
all I
around
got
you.
is mine in the back row.
Understand that
And
people are
everybody
trying
else
to
getting
help
the
you.
peas and
And
rice.
you
That's
can
why
get
I
help
voted
from the
CEO.
most unexpected quarters. I got 3 people calling me every day from the permanent secretaries. I can show you them. Face your reality. This is real. It is time for a change. Lift up your heads, Bahamas, before Brave Davis and the PLP have your children toting coffee like zombies in Haiti. Will the gold, black, and aquamarine fly over all of the islands of the Bahamas if Brave Davis and the PLP get another term in office? Will our Bahamian children recognize our national anthem? Will English be the official language in our primary schools? In 4 short years, Brave Davis and the PLP are playing loose with our borders. Persons with close links to illegal communities lurk in the wings at the Department of Immigration as consultants. PLP justices of the peace are processing hundreds of applications for illegals to gain status before the next general election. The PLP has one rally for the Bahamian grassroots supporters and another rally for the Haitian occupiers. The Prime Minister has even traveled to Haiti and gone on Haitian television to ask voters to turn up. A numbers boss with business in Haiti is offering huge payouts to these Haitians. Bahamian passports are being handed out at funerals, christenings, baptisms, and weddings. PLP branches are being told to elect Haitians to their executive councils. Every PLP street campaign team is now required to hit the streets with no less than 3 Haitian generals. Brave Davis knows he cannot win with legitimate Bahamian voters, so the PLP is telling Haitians this land is their land and we are one people. For every Haitian the PLP deports, 100 more are let in through the back door. If only the Haitians would stop to remember the vicious lynching the PLP ordered the Bahamas Defense Force to carry out on stranded, starving Haitian immigrants on Key Lobos in 1981, which was caught on film by the NBC television crew. This is not about love or equality or the law. This is about a PLP government desperate to stay in power for themselves. Only heaven can help the Bahamas now. If it moves, chances are Advantage Insurance can insure it. We offer a variety of coverage options for Serious stuff,
cars,
right?
SUVs, trucks,
Yeah.
scooters, boats, and more. Our comprehensive auto insurance policy covers loss or damage due to collision, theft,
You know, on
fire,
this show,
flood, or hurricane.
people
Third-party
hearing that
coverage is
stuff
also available.
all around the world.
wonder if they were invited to. Broken love. Okay. Welcome to the Bahamas, where anything goes, and the citizens are sitting in the second row, whilst everybody else is treated like first class. Now you see why I'm at. I mean, this feels like an invasion. They come here and do it better than you and me. No expenses paid, tax free. It's been going on since 1973. These people been living more independent than me. They don't care about the law, the natural born citizen of this country. Lousy leaders are to blame. Always looking for votes, always crying about something to get in. The blame starts to change. Time for change.
Talk a little bit about that thing. And get into this whole thing of the parties. This is perhaps the
everybody else is treated like first class. Nah, you see why I'm at. I thought they said this land was for Bahamians. What a joke, this is worldwide invasion. Come on and take the whole pie. Keep your eye on the leaders, though. Cause if it gets dark too early, most likely they just hold the sun out the sky. And if the beach look like gold rocks, it's because they sold all the sand. Greedy, lousy politicians, all they good for is selling up our islands, our beautiful Bahama land. I get tired, time to change it. I'm giving it one more try. Just want a better Bahamas, just need a future for our sons and daughters. This time around, I'm voting for the CEO. Anything is better than what gotten over the last 25 years. What a mess, I think it's high time. Hear me answer first. I see plenty in this country and all of that is mine. Tired of sitting in the back row while everybody else eating the peas and rice. That's why I vote in CEO. Changing coming, change is here, changing coming. Changing coming, change is here, changing coming. Changing coming, change is here, changing coming. Changing coming, change is here, changing coming.
Face your reality. This is real. It is time for a change.
What I like about hard copy is after listening to Steve, you have a 411 on what's going on here in the Bahamas. I love what he's doing. He's informing the Bahamians of what's going on. Very informative. I love listening to his show every 5 o'clock. When it's 5 o'clock, it's peace.
Steve is a wonderful guy, and this station is carrying on. I love the station. You guys are doing pretty good. Keep it up.
Steve Mckinney, a show off the chin.
I feel Mr. Mckinney is excellent, he's professional in his field, and he takes care of all issues.
I listen to hard copy, but like to hear various viewpoints, and it helps.
Hard copy is my show. Steve McKinney is my man.
When Steve talks, people listen. When Steve talks, everybody listen. The government does move quick. They bring that he got this. They put hard coffee, hard coffee, hard coffee. I'm talking with Steve McKinney. Steve means business. You know that for sure. On Mondays through Fridays, Steve will give you the score on hard coffee, hard coffee, hard coffee. I'm talking with Steve McKinney. Da 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 da.
So, welcome back. It's right now 6:57. We're going to go overtime for a bit because we've got some important things to say to leave you with on this particular Tuesday here in our country. And Lincoln Bean has been with me all afternoon long, and he's still here with me because there are some things that we must talk about. The first thing that I want to really tackle and deal with is this whole idea about the parliamentary commission, the whole thing about this voter registration and the rest of it. And they had a big meeting the other evening, and on Wednesday, I think it was, and it wasn't really a good meeting because I tell you, it seems as if these guys don't really know what they're dealing with, even though they had the license to go ahead and do this thing from the Parliament because Parliament passed the bill. It went to the Senate. It's now approved, that kind of thing. And here it is. These guys still are not with it. They don't know exactly what it is that they want to tell the people. So they had that first meeting. the first in a series of meetings, and they really had nothing much to say, except that they were rumbling on with all kind of things, and people asked them all kind of a variety of questions, and they couldn't answer them. And ZNS never played it back on television, so you could actually see and appreciate what it is that they were dealing with. And so Lincoln Bain is here, and he talked about it this morning in this morning's Tribune. And that's quite interesting because Lincoln Bain spoke about it in this morning's Tribune because of the irregularities and the many things that they're talking about now. And it really doesn't make sense to the COI. It doesn't make sense to a lot of people. However, Lincoln Bain was in the newspapers today on the Tribune. COI members criticize biometric voter card and electoral process, and that's the size of it. But of course, we have Lincoln Bain right here now, so he can perhaps give us a nutshell as to what really happened and how he found that particular meeting at the University of the Bahamas. And were these guys ready?
No, they weren't ready. And the meeting was just like they were just going through the motion because the government has already made up its mind, so they don't care. Normally, before you pass a bill or present a table a bill in the House, you have public consultation.
Indeed.
You don't have public consultation after you've passed the bill. That doesn't
Putting the
happen.
cart before the horse.
So that means that these guys had zero intention to hear from the public, and they don't care what you have to think. They want this done. So whenever you see a government do that, you have to look to see the reason. They're not doing it because it's going to help or it's really needed right now. They're doing it for some other reason. And that's why we were paying attention. And so we heard them out, heard everything they had to say, watched the debate, etc. And we wanted to know what in the world was going on. They went in the House and passed this crazy bill that makes absolutely no sense. I will say that our member of parliament, Iram Lewis, did not vote for that bill. And he gave them some suggestions that would make more sense. So you can go back and watch that. But it seems like they want some persons to get into our voting system without a double check on them. That's clearly what it is.
We know the deal is.
So we see that there are fraudulent passports being given out.
Mhm.
All right, America sees it. Right-thinking Bahamian sees it. Everyone sees it. So that means there's some passports where biometrics was given because they have the passport.
Yes.
We don't know how they get in the system,
Mhm.
but Bahamians having a hard time getting passport. If you see some of the things they're asking you for, they want your great grandmother birth certificate and your great granddaddy baptism certificate. And I mean, I'm exaggerating, but they're asking for some ridiculous things. So if they got it fraudulently, then if you just take that information that is fraudulent and then allow them to just slip right into the voters register and just get their card with those biometrics, that means that you didn't check. You just let them slide right in.
Exactly.
Because see,
that's the trick right there.
Right. So if you have your passport people on lock to where they're letting this stuff happen, we know it's happening. Then for them to get in, they have to vote, they have to go through another process. And what the government doesn't want is for them to have to go through that process.
I see.
So it's clear that they don't want checks and balance. So, for example, when you go, the Tribune story was a little twisted in this part, right? But when you go for your driver's license, the driver's license office, road traffic, verifies everything themselves. They don't depend on nothing you got from anywhere else.
Yes. They need their own verification.
Right.
That's what they do.
And so they verify everything from you. The voters department, the voters register, parliamentary register, they are supposed to do the same thing.
Exactly.
The passport office is supposed to do the same thing. So every department is supposed to get their own information from you to make sure that if you did something freaky with the driver's license department, that won't affect us because we checking ourselves too.
Exactly.
And that's what gives you the confidence to use these IDs separately. You can use this or that or that. Okay? That's what it is. So we are concerned that they're going to take these biometrics and just use them. And then the voters registry, the parliamentary registry staff won't have a chance to check these people talk to them and see, hold on, you don't speak English. How'd you get this passport?
My lord.
You see?
Yeah.
Because now when you sit in front of them, you gotta speak English.
Yes.
When she tell you put your finger on that scanner,
You better know
you gotta know what she talking about.
Yeah.
All right.
You can't put your foot on the scanner.
And I'm calling everyone in the parliamentary register. Don't do no sign language to them. Don't say finger here. Don't do that. Talk to them. Tell them put your finger on the scanner, please. Tell them take a picture. Just how the U.S. Customs do when you go through. They ain't no sign language to you. Take a picture. Biometrics. And so we need to know that these persons got their documents properly in our country. Brave them, I have a problem with what they seem to be doing.
And they know it.
Mm-hmm.
But they're hoping that the Bahamian people don't pick it up there. So they are going to go through this motion of having these town hall meetings and stuff. Well, it's just a scam. Nothing is going to happen to those
Steve,
things.
there are, since the last election, there are 16,000 new voters. Now, the young people ain't registering because only about 12% of the register is persons from 18 to 29.
Mm-hmm.
The young people still ain't registering. They just wait last minute. So that ain't them, right?
That's some other nationality.
All right? So if that ain't them, who it is? Because we don't have to register. If you was registered since 2017, you don't have to register no more.
Exactly.
So you good.
Yeah.
So who these 16,000 people is?
Yes. And that's double the number what Minister had. Minister had 7,000.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking at now that's double A.
One double, yes.
Yeah.
And so
16,000
new.
These are new registrants now.
And our persons from within the parliamentary registry says that those people are coming in to register.
Hello.
All right? They are being encouraged to come in to register. You get your papers, go register. This is a systematic plot to take over this nation.
My Lord.
And Bahamians are going to be, Bahamians are allowing themselves to be divided by politics.
You gotta pay attention.
They just,
watch the
they're
road.
saying, I'm just a BLP. They're saying, I'm just a F&M. While their country is being taken over. You were warned, you know. Don't cry later. If you voted for the PLP or the F&M, don't come back crying later when you're feeling. Don't cry later. Take it because you voted for it. You see
pay attention, in other words,
what they are doing.
Pay attention and listen to what we are saying to you.
You see,
we have nothing in the game except honesty.
Yes. And so we don't trust the process because during the last election, you would have seen it made the news, of course, where they were doing skullduggery with the Pinewood registrar. They were afraid of me getting in the house.
But before you go there, isn't it interesting how Michael Pintar, the leader of the opposition, so-called opposition, he has been on the case talking about this biometric thing is not a good thing. It's not going to happen. That's what he said initially. But in recent times, even after this particular meeting the other night down at the College of Bahamas, University of Bahamas, he has not said one iota, nothing about this whole thing. And yet it was a big mess. So I'm saying, did he change his mind or what? Is he still on the same page where he was before they went to the parliament? And did he vote for this particular thing to happen in the parliament when they had the voting? You see, these are questions that people...
He voted for it. Pintard voted for it.
Lincoln, I appreciate what I'm saying. I'm putting the roadmap for the people to see for themselves. Did he, in fact, vote for it? The answer is perhaps yes. I'm saying to them, he has not been making any statements to say he is adverse to this whole idea of this biometric thing. Why? Why he's gone quiet? That's another thing he's gone quiet on. So obviously he's in the game. He's a part of the game.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to show people.
It isn't only Brave who's doing this, you know. Before Brave, Brent Simonet was there.
Yes.
Brent Simonet had bragged about how much hundreds of citizenships he was giving out every week.
Exactly.
He bragged about it.
Minutes
and we're pretending like the F&M is going to do something different.
Yeah, and Minutes came back and Minutes did what he did, but he was trying to be clever by half, I suppose, because he got some stuff, and we have that information. You know? See, that's what these guys don't know. That information is there, 7,000 people of Haitian descent was scheduled to vote in the elections in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Many of them did not vote
Mm-hmm.
because they wanted that passport, and they gone to the States or they gone wherever they gone,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't really vote. See, I'm showing you something. This happened to them, the FNM.
A lot of them didn't have proof of address.
That's what it was.
And they
that
left.
was a part of it too.
Mm-hmm. But Brave is giving them proof of address now by
now
putting
they
them
got,
in housing.
So this is a real whammy what we got now.
Yeah. This is a systematic takeover. It's happening in your face. Now, I want you to pay attention to something, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Pintard voted for every bill that Brave Davis put forward. Every bill that the PLP put forward. They would say, okay, these are the things that we don't agree with, or this is things we think y'all need to change, but we support the bill nonetheless. We're going to vote for it. And not one bill did they stand up and oppose. When they took our sovereign wealth fund, the FNM voted for that.
Yes, they didn't oppose it.
When they took the carbon credits and put in Brave name, the FNM voted for that.
Exactly.
Every bill, all of them voted for it. Because they'll tell you, if you're for it, you sit down. If you oppose, you stand up.
Mm-hmm.
Not one bill. Not one bill.
God, what is this we have?
The FNM voted against. All these bills that disadvantage Bahamians. So I just wanted to say that. Now,
on to this thing about this whole thing about, my Lord, this Pinewood situation. Now, I believe that this whole thing, what they're trying today, what they have tried in the past, what they will do in the future, has a lot of implications for many other areas, even though the man says that, Brave Davis said that he's only looking at two particular constituencies that they will need to do some tweaking and all that kind of stuff on. I want you to go with us on this whole matter and explain to us what the whole nonsense is all about and what it was in the last election and what it could possibly be in this election, since this election is already fraught with corruption right across the board.
So there's a couple of ways for them to sneak votes in there. It's with the advance poll, because as you saw, if you saw the videos of that meeting, I'm going to put some videos of that meeting out because the Tribune didn't do a good job with that story. They didn't talk to me. I don't know where that story came from.
They didn't talk to you?
No. They didn't talk to me. But the advance poll is one, and the previous commissioner admitted that they went into the boxes without anyone from any of the parties present, and they went into those ballot boxes and started taking the envelopes, etc. out. All right, that's a no-no. That's a breach. The current commissioner said, "Oh well, what law are you speaking about?" Even though the law says that's not supposed to be open until election day when it goes to the poll and it open in front of us.
That's correct.
This commissioner now said, "Well, what law are you quoting?" And I didn't go into the law with him. Harrison Thompson. I just said the law of common sense. Yeah. I didn't even quote the actual law. I think it's 54, right? Common sense is that if it's so important for every other situation for all of the parties to be present when you're touching the boxes, how come you could, in secret, with the advance polls, 15,000 votes, be able to, plus more empty ballots, all right, that are just there that you could just take and do whatever with? How is it not important for us to be there when you fooling with these boxes? And I had to remind him of when they did that. First he denied it, then he had to admit. All right? And so that is skullduggery. That is a way for them to use the advance polls to steal elections. Another way is no one is there when they do the overseas ballots.
Yes.
Only the government there. Well, this time we could jump on the plane and we go in. All right? We didn't have the planes ready. So if you call election tomorrow, our plane's ready. All right? So no one is there watching the government and what they do with the advance. So whatever they say happened, that's what happened. So that's another loophole.
Dealing with these things so carefully.
All right. So we have Change Force 1. That's going to be flying our people to wherever they need to fly to make sure we monitor them polls overseas. Change Force 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 if we have to.
Yes.
All right. We could be ready. We ain't getting commercial. All right. So Brave them could fly private. We could fly private. We go into wherever our boxes is, and we don't want those boxes moving without our people present. All right. Now, because we saw all the skullduggery with the advanced poll, they refused to seal the Pinewood boxes. Seabreeze was in the same school as us.
Yes, I understand.
Seabreeze boxes were sealed.
Right.
Pinewood boxes wasn't sealed. So I'm telling the presiding officer, let us seal the boxes. He was like, he got instructions not to seal the boxes. I'm like, who gave you that instruction? He went quiet. I said, who can instruct you not to seal the boxes? We have a right to seal those boxes. And he said, no. That ain't my instructions. No, take these. Police, come. Y'all, come. He rounded them up, grabbed the envelopes, the boxes, the ballot boxes, put them in the bus.
Blatant.
In front of us. And then said they taken these boxes to the police headquarters. Like, police headquarters? They're supposed to go to the parliamentary registry. Why are you taking the police headquarters? They take it there because only the police there, and they could run you out of the headquarters yard. Parliamentary registry, you could park up outside and see who go in and out in the night. But they can't enter the police because they control the police. And whoever they want to go in there to make changes, that can be done. You remember, I did video and everything. We went to the boxes. We found that the boxes were tampered with. My box was open, the Pinewood box. And the keys, the envelope the key is in, that was sealed, but the seal was broken and the keys was on top of the box. And the seals was broken. All right? And so we know they was doing skullduggery with Pinewood. But, you couldn't really tell back then. So we had to wait to see the polling results by poll. They never issued that until recently. They waited years to issue the election results by poll. All right? And even during the election, the Pinewood and the Kalani results, all of a sudden they stopped giving the results.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you didn't get those results for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Then the results was changed from what it was. I had more votes, and then by the time they finished with it, it was down to less. I didn't complain because we didn't win anyway, so it's fine. But we wanted to know what happened with Pinewood. We had to stand in front of that bus and force them. I told them they have to lock me up or roll me over on that bus. And I tell them they need more police than that because this ain't happening. And I'm telling you, Steve, we're not letting them steal this election. So I'm calling on the men of this country to protect this nation. We got to stand up this go round. We ain't playing with them in their games. We got to stand up because they're trying to give this country away. And they're trying to steal this election by bringing in illegal persons to vote in our election.
We cannot have that.
And we have to stand up and fight if we have to this time.
Yeah, we cannot stand.
But we can't let them do their skullduggery.
So, I hope every man, woman, boy, and girl is hearing this interview today, because we must stand like we've never stood before. This is our country. This is our livelihood. This is the Bahamas. We cannot lose it. We cannot lose this place.
And so the document I have in front of you is the results of Pinewood by poll.
Yes.
I got these results and I was shocked when I saw them.
I know.
So if you're looking at them, I'll show it to the Bayan people. These are just in my memory. So for those who are watching, this is the poll results of Pinewood. You can see why they did all this skullduggery. All right? It's the poll results. It's too fine. You won't be able to see details anyway. Right? But I'll put it out there. So, Steve, you can look at it. Put on your glasses. That's in my head.
I can't see.
All,
the wrong glasses.
Okay. All of the polling divisions have about 40 or 50% turnout.
Yes.
Right? Voter turnout. All of them, right? 40 to 50% voter turnout.
That's correct.
Except two. Now, one of them is number 8.
The Street South, that's 202.
Number 8.
Yeah.
And the voter turnout is, you got to look on the right-hand side. Yeah. The voter turnout is 105%. So how you get from 40 to 50% turnout to 105%? So more people voted than actually registered. Plus, no one was turning out to vote. you was getting 40 to 50%.
Yes.
So how you get in that poll to 105%? More people
That's the
voted
key
and
for it.
registered.
That's the key for it.
And so I asked the Harrison Thompson, how is this possible? And he said, that's very strange. That should not happen. He said,
that's what I was adopted to.
yeah. But he said, maybe that's where we put the overseas polls or something like that. I say, that much overseas polls? In this, in Pinewood? I said, but okay, how does that explain polling division number 11? That has 92% turnout when it should be 40 to 50% like every other poll.
Yes.
So how you get 105 there, and that means that you were stuffing the boxes.
That's what it means.
And
It's
that was the advanced poll box, which got 105.
Yes.
And you were stuffing the advanced poll box. That's what they did. A police officer came to me, Steve, a few days after the advanced poll. He said, Lincoln, he said they didn't go on in them boxes. He said I was there. He said I wasn't just there. I was one of them who did it.
My Lord.
He said we changed the ballots. That's what the officer said to me. We changed the ballots. And he said, no, I'm an F&M. You know me. That's what he said. He said he's an F&M. Because I don't want them screen recording this with me looking like I saying I'm an F&M. Right? But he said he's an F&M. And he said they switch it to put the PLB bond ahead.
My Lord.
He said that's how they switch it. So we did well in many of those polls. We beat the F&M actually, I think, in 4 or 5 of those polling divisions. And so the COI did very well in Pinewood. We actually beat the F&M in about 4 or 5 of those polling divisions. But some skullduggery went down. This is what we don't need happening now, because this is a bigger level. They just wanted me out of the house because they know I know the power of an MP. The other people, they know they can control them. They can't control me. So they don't want me in there. That's why they fought in 2021. That's why
they'll be fighting again this time.
That's why they fought.
Even more so now, because you have the information.
That's why they fought at the by-election. And now they are afraid. And they are bringing in, they don't trust payments no more. That's why they're bringing in all these other voters and then putting them up in houses to make sure they can vote. We got to wise up. That's the proof right in front of you. How could 105% of the people vote?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't bring my glasses today. I went out before I came here, and I don't know what I did with the glasses. I wear these glasses.
And guess what?
But these are some funny little glasses.
Yeah.
Let me let the people see these glasses by around. You see these glasses? I can't see them. Not really.
But Steve,
because
we gotta fight.
Yeah.
All right. They're gonna come for Pinewood. Brave was in Pinewood campaigning by himself. He went to the barbershop in Pinewood.
Yeah.
And he told them to bring the fellas out to come meet with him. Bring them back. He's gonna come. And he's gonna promise them some things. No, Pinewood is Miles Arota. The fella who was running social services but not doing anything for the people of Pinewood. And Brave told them to bring the fellas out, tell all the fellas come meet with him, and he could, give them, he could get them straight. He could get them straight. He came himself because one of his big supporters who runs a restaurant in Pinewood told him that the young people in Pinewood go in with Lincoln.
Yeah. And
so he came in Pinewood himself, not even with the candidates, not with Miles. He came himself, met with them to make promises. About 6 people showed up. They ended up to around about 10 eventually, but no one was on his run. So the fellas didn't. You can imagine the Prime Minister come. The Prime Minister tell you to come to the barbershop. They met at the Church Connected the barbershop.
Yeah.
The Prime Minister say, come, I can give you all some things. I can make sure you're all straight.
Hang on.
And the people ain't come.
See, that shows you the overall imaging of Brave Davis and the PLP, because they've wasted their time in office by not doing the things that they were supposed to have done. And that is really the bottom line. They only have themselves to blame. People are turned off from them because they don't trust them anymore. And I believe until they realize that fact, that's a fact of life now. They don't really trust them anymore, And you heard,
Brave knows that.
And you heard people like Papa's a very, very intelligent man. Papa's a good person. I like Papa. Papa's
Mhm.
always been there to rise to come up strong and say, because he was a big PLP and he was really with them. But you see, they did so many things to Papa himself and to Bannister and people like that. How can you do those kinds of things? But you see, the bottom line is that, on that is this: they really didn't care about them. They didn't care about these the die-hard people. They didn't care about them. So now everyone is against them. Their base is down to about 22%. People do not like me saying that, you know. Their actual base of their support and the base support is down to about 23 to 22%.
It's far less than that, Steve.
And the
You know
last
why I
time I
say that?
checked, it was 22%.
You know why I say that?
Hmm.
They won the election with 34% of the vote.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So that means that their base is far less
My Lord.
than 20%. Because if only 34%
That's why they
voted for you,
That's why they need all them Haitians.
your base is down. Yes. And so they know the people don't trust them anymore, but they are hoping that Bahamians just say, I'm not coming out to vote, and let the other people, the Haitians, come out to vote.
But they can't do that.
They are
That's not an
praying
option.
that
That's not an option.
Bahamians say.
Yeah.
And they're going to keep putting in your head when it comes, or they can do the same thing.
And
That's
maybe-
what they're going to start saying to Bahamians. You know, if COI get in, they can do the same thing. They ain't going to be no different. To make people, Bahamians, be discouraged from voting. They want to discourage Bahamians from voting. So there are people who they know are grateful. They know Bahamians tired of them. But they know these new people are going to be so grateful that they get
That's
straight
right.
and they
get
got out,
citizenship.
that they
No.
feel that
What?
these people will vote for them.
Yes, that's it.
And so
got
they
the numbers.
want you to don't turn out.
16,000 new voters.
Yes, they want you to don't turn out
My Lord.
so that your country could be taken over and they can say, well, this majority rule, we did it the right way.
They're not going to say that. In fact, when they say that, all of them fall out. They lose their life. Really. Because God don't play that kind of stuff.
I think you mean in a coup d'etat. But
No, I mean that he will just suck the air out of them.
Yeah.
This is God's work, man. People don't understand how big this is, you know. I'm not talking about any harm coming to nobody. I'm talking about he will suck the life out of them because these fellas are nothing more than just local bastards. That's what they are, you know. Because if you're going to do this kind of stuff to people, you set a whole nation adrift, and you don't care for elections because you just want to win again, you got to be out of your cotton picking mind.
Steve, I have to say this. Bahamians, America loved us. We had a love affair with America. We used to get indefinite visas. We were the special
The creme de la
people
creme. Creme de
in the
la creme.
Caribbean.
No question about it.
We used to get indefinite visas. I mean, your visa don't ever expire.
That's right.
All right? No one else got that.
I look through my book
We
and I
got
see
that.
all my indefinite visas.
Yep,
You know?
I got it right
Beautiful
there.
thing.
When we started letting these people come in and all this kind of stuff, we started happening. See, we are ignorant, but America watching. They seeing things. And so you see
You know what
results,
they see.
but announcements don't get made. Our indefinite visas got taken away because now you got to start justifying who is who. This ain't just Bahamians no more coming in.
Mhm.
You got to justify. And now you see all these stuff starting to happen with the increase in the visa, which you got to pay for your visa. That's because you let these people come in and mix up who we are. All right, they come in with us, so America had to take action. Trump made that statement during Dorian. He said, "I love the Bahamians; they're some good people. You know, I would love for them to just come in, but some other people coming in the Bahamas and the Haitians coming in, and it's some bad ones, and we don't want them in our country. So Bahamians y'all can't come either. We gotta wake up. Eventually, they're gonna." It's going to be difficult for us to get visas, like how it is for Jamaicans and Haitians. In fact, it's already started. A lot of people are being denied visas.
That's a lot of things that people don't know.
A
We're
lot.
investigating that right now as we speak.
They're not announcing that on the news, but a lot of people are being denied visas
Yeah, I
all
know,
of a
I
sudden.
know.
Bahamians visa used to be like nothing for us. That was like a rubber stamp. But because y'all are letting y'all politicians sell y'all out, they have a right to start stopping all of us. And guess what? They can't tell the difference because, you know, the people getting our names now. So they
They
can't tell the
thieving our
difference.
names. They stole our country. They doing it. They stole our prime minister. I mean, look here.
So we gotta wake up. Our children almost couldn't get um student visas the
Go
other day.
away, yeah.
We gotta wake up. Don't let them mix us up so that us and our children losing.
What do you say to Brave Davis though? I mean, Lincoln being you're a leader, he's a leader. I mean, can't he wake up and see what time it really
They are
is?
making millions of dollars. I believe it's billions based on my estimate. But they are making big
The
money.
money too sweet
Yeah.
for country.
They don't care. They don't feel it's gonna
God.
affect them. And last thing I want to say, Steve, I want to speak to Bahamian young men in this country. Even those that are living that lifestyle, badness. Stop letting the politicians use y'all. They're using y'all to do their dirt. Using y'all to kill their enemies. Using y'all to smuggle their drugs. When you know too much, they're going to kill you. They're going to use you, and you're going to feel like you're on top of the world, and then you're going to be dead. Because they're going to finish you, because you know too much. This is a warning to our young men who feel like because they working with this politician and that politician, they could do what they want, they could get locked up and get let go. They're going to destroy you. That's a warning. I say this because I grew up in Pinewood. I've seen it. Don't be the puppets for them. They're going to kill you. And now the Haitian gangsters have all the money because they're doing the people smuggling. There's big money in that. There's more money in that than in numbers and drugs. The people smuggling.
Wow.
And then they're smuggling the drugs. They're smuggling the guns. They got the money. That's why you heard Frankie Florida bragging about how they buying up houses. They bought 17 houses and renovate them. Cash. They got the money. And so they are controlling the streets. And so they are being empowered by their politicians to kill our young men. Jesus said, how you take the house? You take the strong man first.
Oh, no.
And they've taken our politicians. They are taking positions in the police force, immigration, etc. They're taking the positions on the street of our young men so that in the end we'll be weak.
I got a call. Good afternoon, caller. How are you? I'm sorry. I think that I forgot you on the line. We were engrossed in this conversation. Oh my Lord, that's a long time ago.
You have been on the right side of history in the Bahamas for more than a quarter of a century.
My Lord.
Brother B, it's good to hear your voice on the radio.
Thank you.
This is AC guy. I heard a lot of prophets on the radio.
Yes.
Today,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm reminded of the late Rodney Roberts. I was listening to him.
Rodney, I remember him. Mm-hmm.
And he was preaching, and he started speaking in what they call tongues, and he started speaking in Chinese. I don't know if you remember that, Brother Steve.
Yeah, I remember it. There's another guy who now speaks in Chinese. Same thing.
He said, man, the Chinese are coming. I said, man, I thought this man was crazy.
My Lord.
We are living today to see what this brother was talking about. And today, I'm listening, I'm watching Brother B. You know, we talk every now and again when I see you. But I believe, again, Ms. Mckinney, you're on the right side of history. And just as you have dealt with former prime ministers back then and the people at Cable Bahamas back then, you're dealing with something again, and you get a man like Brother B. I think there's change in this country.
I hear you.
Thank you, man.
I believe that there is change in this country, and it's not too late for our people.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your comments. Thank you so much. It's good to hear from you.
Yes,
All the way from back from You made the what was the show? You made the call. Yeah, I remember that show. I did that on. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. I did that, and quite interesting. The people who ran me up the radio was none other than Rupert Roberts
Wow.
from Super Value. That's right. People don't know. I've been through all kinds of struggles, but they don't know. But you know, you're here. You understand things. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Good to hear from you. Call me again, man. Let's talk. All the best. Bye bye. My lord, that's serious history just now. But reconvene. You know, I've got to go. 7:33, and obviously we've got to do lots of conversations because things ain't good.
Mm-mm.
Things are really bad. And we're going to have to spend time with people who want to spend time with us because we have to edify and educate this nation. There are not many people who want to educate the nation, edify the nation. Michael Pinto apparently doesn't want to do that. Dwayne Sands apparently doesn't want to do that. The Prime Minister doesn't apparently want to do that. They want to keep people in the dark. I don't know what the real reason is, but we are a free, open-minded station that will discuss anything. There's no reason why they shouldn't be here. It almost makes one believe that we just bias, and we're not. We are absolutely fair. But if they don't come to us, if they don't want to be invited, they've gotten all kinds of invitations. But they wouldn't invite.
Steve, let me be presumptuous to do this. I want to call on all right thinking. You didn't ask me to do this. All right thinking Bahamians to support the station. Just like we used to support PBS back in the day, you'll see them make an announcement, and even TBN and those. Support the station because this is the only station that is out there really giving the truth. That's not biased. Those other stations are biased one way or another. All right. Steve is putting the truth out there, and I'm calling on all of you. Just come and make a donation. You know where to find the station. Steve can tell you where to find the station. Do so. You know, Steve did work for the government and they refused to pay him. All right, refused because he is speaking the truth. And this is the problem in this country, the victimization. And some people will say, you know, oh, Lincoln, you do this, you do that, or whatever. Why you don't have your retail businesses no more and this and that.
Yes.
I chose to stop that because if I wanted to be an activist in this country, I couldn't be in retail business, a business that they could just come and attack. I had a business that was burnt down.
Exactly.
And this lawsuit that I had was as a result of my business being burned down.
Mm-hmm.
I got victimized because I was standing up and fighting for some people in this country. They were breaking down homes in Pinewood Gardens unlawfully. And I stood with those people. I fought with those people. And every time I stand and fight with the people, I get attacked. I don't complain. I never fight for myself. Never. You'll never hear me saying, they doing this to me, they doing that to me. They can't move me. Every time they touch me, I grow even more.
Yeah.
All right? And that disturbs them, that God still touches me afterwards.
Yes.
Like, didn't we just destroy this business you have? How you get a bigger business now? And that's what happens. And so it's hard to stand up and do what's right in this country and not be victimized. And so I went through that.
Yeah.
I could have been a billionaire right now, probably doing business the right way, not them other stuff, you know. But I chose to stand up and fight for others. And Steve is
highly commendable.
Thank you. Steve is doing the same thing. Steve is fighting for the truth and speaking the truth, what's really going on in this country. And so they victimize him by holding on his money. Is a whole lot of money. I'm not I don't have the permission to tell you all how much, but it's a fortune that the government owes him. And because he continues to speak the truth and he would not back down like they are trying to get him to, they are holding on his money to cramp this station so the station can't go on. So
that's a serious thing.
So we can do our part, and we're calling on right thinking people. Just come, bring an envelope, come help this man who's been a help to a lot of people. He didn't ask me to do this. He didn't know I was going to do this. But I am saying, do your part, Bahamians. I don't care if it's $5, $10, whatever it is. Come here and make sure he could pay the bills to keep this going.
Absolutely.
All right.
I thank you very much, Lincoln Bain, for that. No, I didn't actually do that, but listen, I appreciate it because today somebody heard me whispering something yesterday on the Yesterday Show, and they came and they brought an envelope to, in fact, get things started. And tomorrow is the day that I'm going to go public and say exactly what it is that we are doing so that people, all and sundry, can be a part of what we're dealing with what is called now the peace partners. I'm bringing that back, the peace partners, so you can make your contributions and you do your thing. And listen to this, whatever you do, you will get a reward. And the reward is this: whatever you are dealing with in your neighborhood, whatever you're dealing with in anything that you have some affiliation with, peace will put that on the air for free. That's my way of giving something back too, because I do need the help. And you're going to get that information tomorrow as to why we need this help. Because Lincoln is correct. The government has refused to pay me. They've signed the check and everything else. Simon Wilson, the secretary, the financial secretary, has signed the check or has the check on his desk, but he's not been able to pay me any money at all. And we know that we need that money. We know it as a family, as a God Christian family, we need it. But that's what has happened. And so we cannot cry over spilled milk. We have to just do what we have to do and hope that we can get it. But at the same time, we have to do other things to make sure that we are able to pull things together and keep my family and everything going and keep this station going to the point where the man told me, and I told you this yesterday, you are not going to be, if you be here for 5 weeks, you would have done good. That was way back then. I've been on this station, my own private station, for the 25 years. I think I've done pretty good. But the point is this: we can do much more to build this country, to help this country go to success and to further success, if we in fact put our things together and make it happen. We've got to make it happen. We've got to make our own music. Like, just like how I keep telling you all, we've got to do our things for ourselves. We have to do it. The time has come for us to do that thing right now. And we will get the big announcement on that plan tomorrow. And I hope that you participate and be a part of the peace partners. You can do it. We thank you so much for the broadcast, and we thank you so much for everything that you've done. Lincoln Bain, we thank you very much for what you've done today and what you've brought to the table, because we have problems in this country, and we've got to fix them. And it's going to take all of us to fix these problems.
Thank you, man.
I thank you very kindly. So that's our show for today, and we shall see you when we do here at the station. We're going to be on tomorrow at 5 o'clock. So you want to listen in so you can be a part of the Peace Partners, okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, for joining. Remember to support your party. You can go online at coalitionofindependence.com and you can donate to your party, pay your membership if you're a member, and make sure you keep your party going. Do your part, all right? This fight is an expensive fight. People say, we want you to come to this island, we want you to come to this island, etc. It takes money to do that. So make sure that you do your part to make sure that we can keep this going, all right? And so everything's looking good. We just got to make sure that all of us support in our own way. And it might be a little service you could do, little equipment you have, etc. Bring what you have to the table, and we're going to get this done. All right? So thank you all for watching. We're going to see you next time.